billion people worldwide watch the Africa Cup of Nations on TV. Incredible numbers. We live in a digital age. 2.2 billion people across the CAF platform on this country, Côte d'Ivoire.
Merci, des chiffres colossaux qui illustrent. Merci, encore une fois de l'acclamer, des chiffres colossaux qui illustrent. Encore une fois de l'acclamer, des chiffres colossaux qui illustrent de cette Coupe d'Afrique des Nations 2023, de cette Coupe d'Afrique des Nations 2023, le déroulé de cette cérémonie. De dérouler de cette cérémonie pour les moniteurs de français, deuxième chaîne anglais, la troisième chaîne l'arabe, la troisième chaîne le portugais, French, English, Arabic and Portuguese, avant donc de pouvoir suivre le déroulé normal de cette cérémonie. Mimi, tu sais que cette compétition, elle a été difficile pour le pays organisateur et vainqueur, la Côte d'Ivoire. On a coutume de dire ici que c'était une mission commando. Et tu le sais peut-être, le premier capitaine des éléphants de Côte d'Ivoire, c'est le chef de l'État, le président de la République, son Excellence Alassane Ouattara. Mais il y a un patron aussi dans ce commando, il y a un général. C'est tout simplement le premier vice-président du comité d'organisation de la Coupe d'Afrique des Nations et président de la Fédération ivoirienne de football, monsieur Yacine Idriss Diallo.
Docteur Patrice Motsepe, président de la Confédération africaine de football, monsieur Adjemek Silas, ministre délégué auprès du Premier ministre chargé des sports et du cadre de vie, monsieur Véron Mosengo Omba, secrétaire général de la Confédération africaine de football, monsieur Kurt Okrakou, président de la Fédération ghanéenne de football et président de la zone UFOA B, Excellence monsieur l'ambassadeur Jacques Anouma, président d'honneur de la Fédération ivoirienne de football et conseiller du président de la CAF, mesdames, messieurs, vous tous, en vos rangs, grades et qualités. Je prends la parole au nom de la Fédération ivoirienne de football pour vous souhaiter la bienvenue en Côte d'Ivoire. Pour vous souhaiter la bienvenue en Côte d'Ivoire et particulièrement à Abidjan, à l'occasion de la première conférence des coachs organisée à la suite de la Coupe d'Afrique des Nations qui s'est déroulée en Côte d'Ivoire en janvier et février dernier. C'est un moment important parce que c'est un moment qui nous rappelle que l'aventure a commencé pour la Côte d'Ivoire en 2014 lorsque nous avons obtenu l'organisation de cette CAN. Elle s'est confirmée en novembre 2022 lorsque nous avons signé le Host Agreement ici à l'Hôtel Ivoire, à la patinoire. Et puis nous avons organisé l'Assemblée générale de la CAF ici, au mois de juillet 2023. Nous avons enfin organisé le tirage au sort, encore ici, à la salle à côté de l'aéroport, au Palais des Expositions, en octobre 2023, pour aboutir à l'organisation de la CAN. Alors, cette conférence, je pense, marque la fin du cycle des activités dans notre pays. La Fédération ivoirienne de football a été honorée de participer à cet événement exceptionnel que tout le monde a qualifié d'unique et que Monsieur le Président de la CAF, le Dr Patrice Motsepe, a qualifié de meilleure CAN, meilleure Coupe d'Afrique jamais organisée. Notre pays a été honoré de la confiance qui lui a été faite. Le comité d'organisation de cette CAN, présidé par le ministre François-Albert Amichia et dont j'étais le vice-président, en accord avec toutes les équipes de la CAF, ont travaillé d'arrache-pied pour permettre de vous offrir le spectacle que vous avez vécu en janvier et février, et puis de vivre des moments uniques, des moments de partage, des moments d'amour, des moments d'émotion. Mais une fois que l'émotion est passée, il faut que les techniciens, les spécialistes, ceux qui travaillent au quotidien sur la formation, l'encadrement, le suivi, la stratégie, et ceux qui permettent aux joueurs de s'exprimer sur le terrain à travers ce qu'ils produisent, réfléchissent et tirent les enseignements. Nous sommes donc honorés de vous recevoir ici. Nous sommes heureux de vous recevoir en Côte d'Ivoire et nous vous disons que notre pays, dont le chef de l'État, le président Alassane Ouattara, est le chef incontesté et le leader visionnaire qui a décidé d'organiser la CAN dans ce pays, qui a mis les moyens à notre disposition en construisant des infrastructures d'un niveau exceptionnel. Le président Ouattara dirige, avec son gouvernement, dirigé par le Premier ministre Robert Begré-Mambé, disons que la Côte d'Ivoire est une terre d'accueil. Les infrastructures sont là, elles sont disponibles. Les compétences sont là, elles sont disponibles. Donc, tous les pays d'Afrique sont les bienvenus pour toutes les manifestations sportives et de football dans notre pays. On mettra tout en œuvre pour vous offrir les meilleures conditions possibles et nous vous accompagnerons de notre mieux. Ce qui est certain, c'est que à quoi bas, comme on dit les organisateurs, et sachez que ce pays est le vôtre, cette terre est la vôtre, et nous serons toujours à votre disposition pour vous permettre de vivre des moments inoubliables dans notre pays.
Monsieur le ministre Amadou Koné, Docteur Patrice Motsepe, président de la CAF, et Madame M. Véron Mosengo Omba, secrétaire général de la CAF, M. Yassine Idriss Diallo, mon cher frère, président de la Fédération ivoirienne de football, M. Kurt Okaku, président de l'UFOA B, Excellence M. Jacques Anouma, conseiller spécial du président de la CAF, Monsieur le président des clubs africains de football, distingués éminences grises du football africain et mondial, c'est pour moi un ainsi honneur de souhaiter à toutes et à tous la bienvenue à ce symposium organisé par la Confédération africaine de football ici à Abidjan. En cette circonstance solennelle, qu'il me soit permis d'exprimer ma profonde gratitude au président de la République, son Excellence M. Alassane Ouattara, qui a bien voulu accepter d'accueillir la présente cérémonie ici en Côte d'Ivoire. Côte d'Ivoire, terre d'hospitalité, terre d'accueil, terre de football, terre de la plus belle CAN jamais organisée selon les experts, mais terre de la grande victoire des éléphants à la CAN 2023 et très certainement terre des lendemains meilleurs pour le football continental et mondial. C'est le lieu pour moi, à ce stade de mon intervention, de rendre un vibrant hommage au plus grand champion de l'excellence et de la performance, son Excellence M. Alassane Ouattara, président de la République de Côte d'Ivoire. Son leadership éclairé, sa vision holistique et méthodique d'une Côte d'Ivoire rassemblée, disciplinée et au travail. Sa gouvernance charismatique nous va le dégrainer jour après jour avec fierté le chapelet d'estime des autres nations. Il est donc incontestable que les États ne valent que par la qualité des hommes qui les dirigent. Il en est de même pour les institutions comme la CAF. Bravo, docteur Motsepe, bravo, bravo. Je voudrais également remercier M. le vice-président de la République de Côte d'Ivoire, M. Tiemoko Meïle Koné, ainsi que M. le Premier ministre, chef du gouvernement, ministre des Sports et du cadre de vie, M. Robert Begré-Mambé. Mes remerciements pour l'honneur qu'ils nous font d'abriter ce symposium de haut niveau. Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, je voudrais vous exprimer la satisfaction de la Côte d'Ivoire d'accueillir cet événement qui prône l'excellence du football africain à travers toutes les éminences grises présentes dans cette salle. Je tiens à saluer les plus hautes autorités du football mondial. Je voudrais citer M. Gianni Infantino, même s'il n'est pas présent aujourd'hui dans la salle, président de la Fédération internationale de football association, et lui rendre hommage pour son engagement vigoureux en faveur du développement du football dans le monde entier, particulièrement sur le continent africain. Je voudrais également remercier le président de la Confédération africaine de football, Dr Patrice Motsepe, pour son leadership et ses actions pour le rayonnement du football africain. Dr Patrice Motsepe, vous êtes un entrepreneur visionnaire et philanthrope. Nous ne le soulignerons jamais assez. Et chaque fois que l'occasion nous sera donnée. En effet, avocat et homme d'affaires, vous êtes fondateur et président du groupe minier African Rainbow Minerals. Votre engagement a transformé le football africain par des initiatives novatrices et un leadership inspirant vous ont valu d'être président du club sud-africain Mamelodi Sundowns, vice-président de la FIFA, puis président de la CAF depuis le 12 mars 2021. Vos efforts inlassables et remarquables, avec des collaborateurs rigoureux et efficaces, comme le secrétaire général Véron Monsengo Omba, vos efforts soutenus, dis-je, pour promouvoir le football sur le continent africain et faire briller notre pays sur la scène internationale sont des exemples à suivre. Monsieur le président de la CAF, monsieur le secrétaire général de la CAF, merci pour votre engagement. Je salue la présence parmi nous du président de la Fédération ivoirienne de football, monsieur Yassine Idriss Dalo, des membres du comité exécutif de la FIFA et tous ces acteurs du football ivoirien qui œuvrent chaque jour à une meilleure édification de la pratique de ce sport dans notre pays. Je me réjouis de la présence des gloires du football africain. Je voudrais citer le Nigérian JJ Okocha, le Sénégalais El Hadj Diouf, le Camerounais Joseph-Antoine Bell, les Ivoiriens Gadji Célestin, Joseph et Alain Guaméné, et la liste n'est pas exhaustive. Ainsi que M. Doué Noumandiez, notre compatriote responsable des arbitres à la CAF, qui participe en tant que panéliste à ce rendez-vous de haut niveau. Je vous remercie déjà pour votre implication dans les travaux de ce symposium. Nous sommes également honorés de la présence de tous ces présidents de fédérations nationales de football, de la participation des ambassadeurs de la CAF, des légendes du football africain, de tous les membres de la Confédération africaine de football, les sponsors, les partenaires ainsi que les journalistes sportifs africains qui sont à la tâche tous les jours, en tout lieu et tout le temps pour le développement du football sur le continent. Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, vous l'aurez remarqué, les participants à ce symposium proviennent d'horizons géographiques divers. Vous êtes nombreux à avoir répondu à l'invitation de la Confédération africaine de football et de la Côte d'Ivoire. Vous êtes 42 fédérations africaines, des experts internationaux, y compris des représentants de la FIFA et de l'Union européenne de football association, et toutes ces compétences qui participent à ces assises. Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, distingués invités, je voudrais vous inviter à continuer d'œuvrer au rayonnement du football africain. De premier plan à être une rampe de lancement du football africain qui s'impose de plus en plus au monde comme le continent le plus compétent en la matière. Félicitations à tous les panélistes. Vive le football africain. Vive le sport, vecteur et creuset d'unité nationale. Vive le sport, véritable instrument d'influence des États. Vive la Côte d'Ivoire, excellente dans le Conseil des Nations. Bons travaux, j'ai fini de dire.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister, Sports Minister of Côte d'Ivoire, for those words about the hugely successful Africa Cup of Nations in your country. Now, let's take it back to the opening day of the Africa Cup of Nations, where the CAF president, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, said it would be the most successful AFCON ever. And he got it spot on. Mr. President of the CAF President, please, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, a few
brief remarks. I hope the translation is working. We never had any doubt that over many, many years, this continent has produced some of the best players, not just in Africa, but many of them have been recognized and praised and appreciated worldwide. But we always knew that we have to win on the field of play. And that's why a few years ago, there was a clear plan, a clear objective, and one of the most important objectives was the confidence we have that an African nation will be champions of the world. Let's clap hands for that. Now, if you listen to the way you clap the hands, it's a bit, we're not sure, maybe not sure, but let's clap hands enthusiastically. Now, you know, these things are easier said than done. You know, I've got thousands and thousands of shareholders all over the world, and we've got businesses in 38 countries in Africa. We've got investments in India, in America, in Europe, and many times I meet with my shareholders and they ask me one question. They say, please, you can say so many things and make so many promises. We just want to know, where is the money? Where is the money? We need the dividends. Because you can have good plans, but unless if the money is in my account, I can't use it. So when I'm saying to you that part of our confidence is that an African nation will indeed be champions of the world, which is one of our objectives, it's similar to, people will ask, but where are we now? And when do you think we will get to the level where we can compete against the best in the world? And a good starting point is, in 2022, Morocco went to the semifinals. In 2010, Ghana did exceptionally well in South Africa. And you can go back, Nigeria were champions of the Olympics. Cameroon has been champions of the Olympics. But what we do know is that in everything you do in life, everything, it requires hard work and hard work and hard work and self-belief and self-belief and self-belief. And sometimes your self-belief is in circumstances when the facts indicate that you may be out of touch with reality, because the facts don't support your objectives. And our objective of making sure that part of our aims is that an African nation must be champions of the world, because we will get our respect based on what we do on the field of play. So we have to win. We have to win. We have to win. And that's why this meeting is so important. This meeting, it's a great honor for me to have some of the smartest, most gifted, most talented coaches and trainers on the continent. You represent the best we have in the continent. And there's about 880,000 young boys and girls who participated in the CAF African Football Championship. And I'm proud because my foundation and my family foundation contributed $10 million towards that as a sign of the confidence and the belief. And we've donated a lot of money for schools football, quite apart from the other obligations we have. So a few days ago, I was in fact, let me say, a few weeks ago, I was in America, and in a meeting with some of the most successful and some of the most respected businessmen in the world, most successful. And some were saying, they were talking about their good investments in other parts of the world. And of course, I spoke about Africa. But what I liked is sometimes when I talk to some of my co-investors in Africa, they quite justifiably are cautious, as you have to be, and sometimes very uncertain and sometimes very pessimistic. But when you go to America and you sit with some of the most successful investors in the world, and some of them are saying, we're coming to Africa. We're coming to Africa. We've got confidence in Africa. And some have already invested in Africa. It reminds me of the emphasis we've got to make on an ongoing basis that we've got every reason to believe that every one of you who's in this room is as good as the best in the world. And I look at JJ, I look at Yoff, I look at all of the football players who are here with us today. They were exceptional. So I want to conclude by saying that sometimes we ourselves do not have the maximum confidence that we should, and partly because reality and the facts indicate that you should not have an excessive amount of self-belief and confidence. And of course, the starting point for all of us is reality. And the reality is that if you look at the AFCON and the quality of football that took place in Côte d'Ivoire, and there's no doubt that by any standards, this was the most successful on the field and off the field. But the most important thing that all of us must leave here is an absolutely justified sense of confidence. And that's why it's appropriate to express my deep personal gratitude to President Ouattara, to express my deep personal gratitude to the Prime Minister, to the Minister Delegate in the Office of the Prime Minister, who's also Minister of Sports. I saw my brother, who's the Minister of Transport, and everybody else here from the government. My brother, our brother Idris, and my special advisor and very respected and experienced football leader, Jacques Anouma, and our brand new chairman of the African Club Association. So let me, and of course, Veron, who did excellent work, and every single one of the CAF staff members who are here. But let me conclude by emphasizing that, what are you guys going to do here? What are some of the things that you will be looking at despite this overall assessment of the quality of football? And of course, in the context of the quality of football in the AFCON, you've got to look at the quality of football at the AFCON and look how it compares. Quality of football in the AFCON 2023 in Côte d'Ivoire. How does it compare with the highest competition at the similar level in Europe, the UEFA? UEFA Nations Cup, or the Nations League that's playing now. So at the end of the day, we have to win. So you can't say that I'm the best in Africa because I've won, which is excellent, but stop there. You've got to ask yourself, what must we do? Because, of course, there's more money in Europe, and the players get paid more, and the coaches can get paid more. And we are clear in our mind. Part of our objective has to be that we compete. The days of attracting the best coaches from the continent and outside, and in their mind, they must always think that I'm going to get less money in Africa, is something that we are working against. And that's why we are bringing more private sector investment, private sector sponsorship. Don't let anybody fool us. We clearly understand that, the facilities, the stadiums, the infrastructure, all of the related infrastructure for football is important, but we also understand how we pay our coaches, how we pay our players, how we pay the administrators, the future of club football. I mean, I gave $50,000 to every club, football club that participates. My brother, Kurt, so good to see you. You see, when you sit next to Veron, you all look like you are from Brazil, so I can't see the one from the other. Thanks for the wonderful work you're doing in Ghana and in Wafu as well. Wafu A, B, I always mix them up. B for brother. So it's very, very important that, you know, the clubs, there must be more money for the club. We gave them 50,000. I mean, what is 50,000? It's insignificant in the context of the totality of financial resources that is required. We've doubled the money that we give to the member associations. You know, they got $200,000 per annum. We've doubled it to 400,000. What is 400,000? What is 50,000? So, and that's why President Ouattara is somebody that makes us so proud, because we need the partnerships with government. It helps to have a president who loves football, who's passionate about football. Many of the heads of states I've known for many years, and many that I've spoken to. Too many countries in Africa still play their football not in their nation but outside. It's unacceptable. And we can't do it without the support of our governments. But the way to do it is to encourage them, to motivate them. Because sometimes to criticize and negative talk, it doesn't achieve what we want to achieve. So I want to conclude by saying that I am so absolutely proud. And let me first say, I want to thank each of you. But you know, we also have to have an eye for detail. I've worked with so many coaches. I've been privileged to work with so many coaches. And I was talking this morning about when I brought Barcelona to come and play against the family football club, I think in 2007, 2008, and brought them again on Mandela's birthday on 2018. And we had 95,000 supporters at the stadium, and the previous one, it was sold out. It's the passion and the love we have for football. Football is special. Football is unique. Football creates unity, creates excitement. People, you know, in Nigeria, they said to me, when the Super Eagles play, there's no northerners, there's no southerners. I said, what do you mean by northerners and southerners? I said, no, but you know, this is some of the historic distinction between the north and the south, and I don't want to go into detail, but when the Super Eagles play, we're all Nigerian. We're all Nigerian. The pride, the passion, the patriotism, the unity. It unites us, those who come from different ethnic background, different religious background, different races. The single most powerful force in the world that brings people together. For us, it's an important thing in Africa. When Côte d'Ivoire was winning and won, of course they played against another great nation, Nigeria, but there was celebration for the way both of them played. So we've got reason to be confident and reason to be excited. There's more money coming into African football than ever before. And you know why? Because we understand that we've got to make it attractive. We've got to make it exciting. We've got to make it appealing. We want people to sit and watch and get excited about watching football in Africa as much as they get excited about watching football in Europe and in other parts of the world. Thank you so much. The future for African football looks bright. There's good work that's been done, and we are going to continue building, and we're going to continue winning, and we're going to continue improving, and we're going to continue showing to the rest of the world that indeed African football is as good as the best in the world. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Patrice Motsepe, the CAF president, for those words. It's great to see that the Africa Cup of Nations is getting the attention that it deserves globally. Now, of course, there were so many magical moments for the Africa Cup of Nations in Côte d'Ivoire 2023. We're going to have a look at, of course, some memorable moments in the qualifiers, as well as all the way through to the final.
quelques moments forts de cette Coupe d'Afrique des Nations, forcément, qui évoquent en nous quelques moments de nostalgie. On va procéder à un moment symbolique dans ce symposium, dans cette première journée du symposium qui se tiendra sur 2 jours. Je vous le rappelle, la signature du symbolique Legacy Fund. Mimi.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we know so much about how successful the Africa Cup of Nations in Côte d'Ivoire was on the pitch, but it was also incredibly successful commercially. So we're going to be having, of course, right now, the increased revenues compared to the previous editions, as we'll be able to see very shortly. And for the first time ever, the host nation of AFCON will benefit from a new CAF Legacy Fund aimed at driving development in the country. Let us please welcome on stage the CAF Secretary General, Mr. Veron Mosengo Omba, as well as the Ivorian Federation President, Mr. Yassine Idris Diallo. Please.
Schools football as well, which we love, but this is just part of the process in terms of the good work that has been done. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup, and thanks Veron for the excellent work.
Merci Président, ça fait partie du processus.
Thank you, President. This is part of the development of football in Côte d'Ivoire.
Signature symbolique et ce dont
Congratulations for this signing ceremony.
It's the end of that formal ceremony. We're going to have the dignitaries going through to the mix zones. The ushers will show you. And of course, the media, you can go and get your sound bites to get the interviews in the mix zone. Everybody else will just be taking a very short break while those interviews are being done. And then we'll get to the nitty-gritty, the business end of the symposium.
Rendez-vous dans quelques minutes pour la suite de cette...
We come back in a few minutes for the rest of our agenda, and journalists can go to the mix zone for the interviews, and afterward we'll carry on our process with in this first day of our symposium. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I know that when you see one more person here in the stage, you think one more speech. My God, but it's not. I just wanted Côte d'Ivoire, Abidjan, to receive us again once more, to speak about what amazing things happened in this last AFCON. We will travel back to January and February. We'll have some insights about what happened in the AFCON. But what is more important in this event is the coaches. It's the opportunity to exchange with each other, is the opportunity to give you the floor to speak about the development of football. As CAF, we have such opportunities to speak with technical directors of the member associations. We speak about other confederations, and I want to thank also Frank Dudov from UEFA for being here, FIFA, that is a good partner that did a wonderful performance analysis of the AFCON that we'll share with you very soon. But we never before had the chance to sit down with the coaches. In the beginning, when I went to CAF, everybody was telling me that the pillar of football was grassroots. The pillar of football was infrastructures. But I always say the same, and I continue to believe that the pillar of football are the coaches. If we have the best players, the best infrastructures, football and equipment, but you don't have the coaches, we cannot develop players in the right way. Then I believe that you are the key factor to develop football in Africa. Then, for me, it's a huge pleasure to have you all in this forum. It's a great opportunity for exchange, to exchange with you, because we need you also to give us your thoughts, your ideas in regards of how we can develop football. I believe that together, because in Africa we have to think that together we have to develop our continent quality football. Then, even though we have to play against each other in the pitch, I think that we have to support ourselves to elevate and enhance the quality of our football in general, and then we can play against each other and see who will win one time and who will lose another time. Then thank you so much to all for being here. We will start now the real symposium, like you said, Mimi. And I wish you all a very profitable conference and that you will leave this place completely different than you came. Thank you so much.
Merci Raoul.
Thank you, Raoul, very much for that. Now, of course, we cannot talk about the Africa Cup of Nations that took place right here earlier this year without talking about the refereeing. We do know that the officiating was top-notch at the Africa Cup of Nations, with everybody speaking about it. And the focus on the first session will be about the usage of VAR.
L'arbitrage a tiré son épingle du jeu. Regardez une petite vidéo, justement, souvenir de cette Coupe d'Afrique des Nations au niveau de l'arbitrage.
To a danger area, Mabalulu is there and it's a penalty. An opportunity from 12 yards out presented to Mabalulu. Strikes firm. And eventually...
Now comes to play. Definitely. Limb not in a natural position, outstretched, impeding the ball. Takes one look. It's a penalty.
There we go.
Opportunity. He's going to the VAR. Morocco. Hakimi.
And there we go. Well,
it looks like a penalty to me, but things just might.
Well, the referee takes out. Makes the run up. That's no mistake. This
Ali Hussein said no word in the air.
It's unbelievable how both the referee, the center referee and his assistant referee could miss that one, honestly.
Well, funnily enough, he's gone to VAR.
To hold on. Stadium. Penalty to Ivory Coast.
South Africa have got numbers forward.
They just went forward there in a
Ooh, I remember that day. Now, as a Nigerian, that decision brought me heartbreak. But it was great to see that the officiating was doing their job for that one. So let's not forget as well, as I said, globally, a lot of people were praising the officiating at the Africa Cup of Nations, and none other than Gary Neville, well known former Manchester United football legend, who said that in the English Premier League they could learn a thing or two about how to use VAR like it was used here at AFCON.
Les arbitres qui ont fait un travail considérable et on l'a vu, l'application de la VAR, comme tu le disais Mimi, est un modèle du genre à suivre. Les plus grandes compétitions dans le monde peuvent s'inspirer de ce qui s'est fait à la Coupe d'Afrique des Nations, et tout ça c'est l'œuvre d'un homme, notamment Monsieur Désiré Noumandiès-Doué, le responsable de l'arbitrage et de la technologie dans le football. S'il vous plaît, sous vos acclamations.
Thank you very much. Dear coaches, it's always a great moment for a referee to discuss with the coaches. We are always collaborate on the field of play, but we don't have so many opportunities. So today, regarding refereeing in the AFCON, I first of all want to congratulate you. The AFCON was a great moment of football, and we are honored, and it's a privilege for us to exchange with the crème de la crème of the technician of football of the continent, to talk about refereeing. From the refereeing perspective, how did we see the AFCON? We really enjoy, because for us it was a very high level of football. On the technical point, tactical, the speed of the play. There was a lot of emotions, not only for the teams, for the public, but also for the referees. There were no small teams. We had many surprises. Teams were fighting until the last second, and we have fantastic outcomes of the games. all the match hand were uncertain. And for the referees, it was a very good challenge, believe me. It was a very good challenge because we had to improve every day. Every day at the training, seeing the level of performance of the teams, it was a big challenge for us. We have to raise our level of refereeing at every match. Match after match, we could see. We were also pleased about the general good collaboration with the team officials on the benches. To reach this level of performance during the AFCON, everything was done with the preparation. And before the AFCON, it was a long and steady preparation process, started from September 2022. Because we have at that moment to scout for a new generation of elite referees. You see new faces during your matches. So we did the follow-up and the selection through all those competitions, several courses, technical and VAR courses, many tournaments, and the final selection was strictly done and based on quality and performances. And I'm sure you have noticed many young faces, many young referees. Around 50% of the referees and assistant referees were at their first AFCON. And they performed very well. Okay? 60 of them were below the age of 38. Below 38 for a referee is the age where you start to get experience. It's still young for a referee. So the preparation was really based on performance. The final selection was very strict because we were looking for results at the competition. Then during the competition, regarding the appointment, we worked like a team. The appointment was based on the performance and the readiness at the training. So we were focused to appoint the best at the moment. So you would have seen some referees selected for the AFCON, but who didn't receive a game. Because at the moment they were supposed to referee, they were not ready at the training. Because we wanted results, we worked with the best at the moment to win the game. Because not only you, teams, want to win the game. Referees also, we want to win the game when we are going on the field of play. That's why we were working with the best of the best. We make also the emphasis on the match tactical preparation. This is a tool we will use more and more. I want to thank my director, Mr. Raoul, who gave us the green light to do that. To have coaches, to prepare the game with them, how this team is playing, how the other team is playing. As a referee, what should I expect on the field of play? To prepare our referees to be ready, to know already about what they will face on the field of play, in terms of refereeing, of course. So we put also the emphasis. We had also a good approach, a good combination between the technical and the fitness. Because it was hot, there was a lot of humidity. So the training plan, the load of training, everything was done individually. The follow-up was individual, and this resulted with 0 injury, 0 fatigue, and a peak of performance on the match day. This was one of the elements who contribute to the success. We also had a very good VAR performance. Closely, we will see that in 99% of the situations, people was expecting a VAR intervention, and the VAR intervention was happening. That means that we were really concentrate with football understanding and use of consideration. The line of intervention was at the expected level. Now, regarding the refereeing performance, and this is a point where we would like also to have your opinion at the end of the presentation. Okay? Our first focus was about match control, and we achieved really good results in terms of protecting the players, in terms of displaying a strong personality when it was needed. In terms of management, we asked the referees to focus more on football understanding, to try to understand the demand of the game, not always being strict, but understand. Okay? The players' management, and I think you should have noticed, the referees was supposed to give respect because they were asking for respect. We tell them to give respect and empathy. But if in front we had different approach, then they have to show that they are controlling the situation. Okay? We also improve in the communication with the players and the team officials and on the prevention. Now, regarding the decisions in general and the use of VAR, it's always a good moment to do a refresh with you, to make some clarification very quickly, because most of the time there is a misunderstanding coming from the fact that we don't have always the correct interpretation or the correct understanding of the protocol. So I just want to go quickly with you through those small points, okay? So regarding the VAR protocol, it's only for those 4 areas: penalty, direct red card, and goal and mistaken identity. We have with VAR the delay concept. You might see the assistant delay the flag, the referee delay the restart, because according to the law of the game, when the game has restarted, the referee cannot anymore change any decision. One important point is the referee always decides first and last. The VAR is not deciding. Thank you. It's the referee who decides. He's taking a decision on the field. Then the incident related to those 4 areas are automatically checked. We put in big character automatically to tell you that this is the protocol. It's not because you will insist, you will harass the referee that the VAR will check, and vice versa. Immediately after the situation, if it's related to those areas, the VAR will check automatically. So no need to mob the referee and everything. Then after checking, the VAR now will have to take action. And we can summarize in 3 parts. The first one is no intervention. The referee makes the decision, the VAR is agree. No intervention, he just confirms the decision. Then you have factual review, what we call factual review. This is for factual situation, factual decisions. And on this kind of intervention, the referee will not go to the screen. It's, for example, offside interfering with play, or the ball is in or out of the penalty area, or the ball crossed the goal line. Okay? We call them factual decisions. There is no matter of interpretation. So the referee will stay on the field, he will get the information of the VAR, he will make the signal and change the decision. Then we have the on-field review, where the referee has to go to the screen, and this is for subjective decision with interpretation. Why? Because it's the referee who is deciding, not the VAR. Is it a foul? Is it a penalty? Is it a handball? This is a matter of interpretation. So the VAR will tell the referee, come at the screen, I will show you, you will see, and you will decide. This is why the referee will do the signal and go to the screen. Because sometimes we say, but the referee refused to go to the screen. For us, he remained on the field and changed his decision. Okay? So this was just to clarify with you. Okay? And we have 2 examples. Okay? You want to see you? To show you? Okay? The first one. Oh, no. How can I play? Okay, no. Can we play the video? Can we play the video? No. No. C'est working? Deux fois? Allons. Si j'ai pu. Yeah? Non. Ça c'est l'autre clip ça. Yeah? Ça marche. So we have two examples. One for a factual review and the other one for an on-field review. And he will show you also that on the field of play, when an incident is occurred, the VAR team automatically start checking and discuss with the referee to see if there is anything the referee needs to see or not. And this for us is very important because sometimes on the field it's not always well understood by the players and also by the coaches. Okay, and if not, then we move forward. Yes, Charlotte? No, cannot? Okay. Right? Oh, okay, okay, okay. Okay, so in this AFCON, okay, so now we can play. Okay, this is the game, Côte d'Ivoire, Equatorial Guinea, with a lot of emotion. So we have the team Côte d'Ivoire who was losing 1-0, and then we have this goal occurring, okay? We can see that the attacker who is scoring the goal is in an offside position at this moment, when the ball is headed by his teammate, okay? And he's the one who scored the goal. After every single goal or penalty, the VAR will check. And as you can see, the VAR communicates to the referee that the player who scored the goal was in an offside position. The referee then stay on the field of play, make the signal, cancel the goal, and restart with offside and direct free kick. Okay? So this is what we call for us a factual review, because there is no matter of interpretation, no matter of the referee to see himself. Okay? The next video will be the next one. Okay? On the next one, we will have an example of on-field review. An example of on-field review. Okay, now we can see again the same action with the attacker in an offside position at the moment of the pass. Okay, and then scoring the goal. You have to know that after every single goal, the VAR will check if during the process of the goal, the team who scored the goal didn't commit any offense. Okay? On the second one, we will have a situation, Burkina Faso, Mauritania, inside the penalty area, with an attacker and a defender, possible penalty or not, for the referee, the defender plays the ball first and then goes allow the corner kick. Okay? So immediately the VAR team will start checking because it's a penalty area incident. Okay? So this is the screen, the quad screen of the VAR. Okay? They will check and then find the correct angles to see if there is a foul or not. Okay? So they can see that, you will see, okay? Who played the ball first? Is it the attacker or the defender? Okay? Now after many angles, okay, they will find out that the defender didn't play the ball from this one. The attacker played the ball and the defender trips the attacker. Okay? Then they will check what we call the APP. If in the process of this penalty, the attacking team didn't commit any mistake. Okay? They are changing many angles to see, to be sure. Because the VAR will intervene when he has evidence to show to the referee. This is very important. Okay? So once they have all the evidence that this is a foul, when they have checked the APP to see that nothing happened in the process will lead to the penalty, now they will take action and start communicate with the referee. Okay? Sometimes it takes a bit long because the VAR need to be sure. Okay? Then when this is done, they will call the referee to the on-field review. Then the referee will go. Okay? So the referee, now the VAR is communicating to the referee. I recommend an on-field review. He opens the review, goes to the screen, and they will show him the different angles, okay? And he will decide. He will decide. So this for us is very important because the referee always decides. Okay? So now the referee is checking the different cameras angles. He will ask if you want to see more or if you want to see a specific angle to help him to make a decision. Okay? Asking for different angles, replays, slow motion. Okay? And then at the end, he will make a decision. And during this AFCON, the VAR team did very well. They did very well. And the interventions occurred when it was expected. And this is really what we work on. Now the referee comes from the screen, open the review, and award the penalty. Okay? So this was to show you the different approach regarding the VAR action. Now just quickly some brief statistics regarding VAR. Okay? We have 52 matches, and we have VAR intervention in 27 matches. So almost 52%. Okay? In the table below, we have in total 32 interventions. In some games, we had more than one VAR intervention. Okay? So the average is one VAR intervention every 1.6 matches. Okay? Of course, we need to work more to improve on these statistics. Okay? The last table is about the duration of the VAR intervention. At the end, we have more than 3 minutes, 2 interventions, between 2 minutes and 3 minutes, 8 interventions. Of course, it looks very long because some situations are very tricky and the VAR need to check properly. Okay? So most of the intervention, 70%, were less than 2 minutes. Okay? This is a good performance, it's a good average. But of course, we need to improve in this, okay, to work a little bit more faster. But in VAR, it's more important to be accurate, not to try to go too fast. Okay? Regarding this over table, we have, for the penalties, for example, we have 10 penalties from the field and 12 given by the after VAR intervention. Okay? These statistics, yes, the problem with VAR is when we have too many good VAR interventions, that means that the referees need to work a bit more on the field of play. So we'll try to improve in this for our referees to decide more from the field. And you can see, we still have some decisions missed, very few, okay, 0.8%. So that means that even with VAR, it can happen that a decision can be missed, maybe because the angle the VAR has is not enough to change a decision, or a wrong interpretation also from the VAR because they are referees who are behind the monitor. And that's why with VAR it's important. And we need many courses to get uniformity between the referees. For the ones who are on the field of play and those who are behind the monitor, to have the same way of interpretation, to have the same understanding of the situations. So we have selected 2 critical situations regarding VARs who were not well understood. Okay, the first one was already shown during the first element. Okay, so we will show this one. Okay, now we will see at the moment of the kick. This is the moment. When we have a penalty, the VAR will also check the process who bring the penalty if the team who benefit of the penalty didn't commit any offense. Okay? So after checking the penalty, the VAR now will check the APP. And while checking the APP, he find out that the attacker who take the shot to have the penalty was in an offside position after a deflection from a defender came to gain advantage from his offside position. That's why the penalty was not awarded and the game was restarted with offside. This was a very good call for the VAR because it was in line with the protocol and this was really well done. This was really well done. So the second one, we have seen it, okay? It's one of the most difficult cases in VAR. You have a possible penalty in this penalty. How did you find the referee's performance during the AFCON? Because it will help us to see where to improve, to see how you perceive our job, how you perceive our action, okay? So very important for us to know, okay? What do you think about how the referee controlled the game, about their personality, about the decisions? Did you always understood the VAR interventions? Were you always agree with this? Okay? How do you find the impact of refereeing on the competition? You think that it's help, that it's allow the player to be, it's allow your players to develop your football? So for us, it's always very important to hear from you, to understand, okay? For us to be able to improve, okay? So if anyone wants to give his thought, his opinion, we will be very happy to listen and to take note. Hein, Charlotte? Okay, we have a coach here in front. And also if you have some questions, we are open to answer. Not to you. maybe use this one. Huh? Yeah.
Okay. Now this one works. As a person that is 24 years already on the continent, remembering you as a referee in many matches in Champions League, I'm personally extremely happy as a witness of time, the way things have gone from strength to strength, from being witness of the worst things, where even your bosses, Massimo Busacca, 2015, calling after the other decision for Equatorial Guinea against Tunisia, if you remember, Sichern from Rajendra Prasad from Mauritius, and asking me if on this level you do such a things, how is then on the other lower levels than this? But this African